Welcome back to Prudence Coaching English class. Hello students, here we provide ICSE, Cbse and WBBSE solutions. Today we are here with all the question answers from the chapter 3 Caskets. This chapter is the last chapter of the book Gulmohar class 8. Here we will provide you 100% unique answers. Students, here the answers are very skillfully written. If you write this answer, then certainly you will get full marks from this question. So let's start. First question, understanding the text. Number 1. Is the Prince of Morocco conscious of his skin color and a little apologetic about it? What would support your answer? How does Portia respond to that feeling of his? Students, here we will provide you part-wise answer. So the first question is the Prince of Morocco conscious of his skin color and a little apologetic about it? Here is your answer. Yes, the Prince of Morocco is conscious of his dark skin complexion. He evidently admits this and explains its cause too. The next part, it seems that he is little apologetic in his speech when he requests Portia not to dislike him only for his dark complexion of the skin. Now the next part of the sentence, what words support your answers? Answer. This is very much clear in Prince of Morocco's assertion in the following lines. Now we'll quote the lines from the text. While you are quoting the lines, you have to use this quotation marks. Mislike me, not for my complexion. Next line, the shadowed livery of the Venice sun. Now the next one, to whom I am a neighbor and near bred. Now the next part of the question, how does Portia respond to that feeling of this? Answer. In response to his feelings, Portia tells that she does not want to choose her husband by the attractive looks only. If she had the right to choose her own husband, then the fair and the dark prince would have the same opportunity to win her love. Now the next question, is the Prince of Morocco nevertheless proud of his brave deeds and well-mannered in his speech? Next part, what makes you say so? Now we'll discuss the first part of the question. Yes, Prince of Morocco is proud of his brave deeds and well-mannered in his speech too. Now the next part of the question, what makes you say so? Answer. The Prince of Morocco had killed the Emperor of Portia with his sword. He declares that he can defeat the bravest man on earth, snatch a sucking cub from the sea bear, and even challenge the hungry lion roaring for its prey. All this refer to his heroism and bravery. On the contrary, he admits that if his luck doesn't favor him, then he may choose her wrong casket as superior Hercules can be defeated by his servant leeches in the game of dice. This depicts that he was well mannered and a wise man too. Students, you can see that these answers are quite long, but if you want to get the full marks, then you must have to write these answers. Now the next question, number 3. Look at the Prince of Morocco's reaction to the inscription on the caskets. What do you think of the way he dismisses lead as dull and dross, not worthy of a golden mind, who is judging by color now? Now, answer. Prince of Morocco thinks that one will risk all in the hope of some rich again, and so a man of worth will not stoop down everything for cheap objects like mere lead. Consequently, he takes vows of his noble origin and considers it as a dull and dross one and not worthy for a person who has a superior heart. Now the next part. Number 4. How does Prince of Aragon let Portia know that he is aware of the rules? Next part. What are the rules and how did he get to know them? Now the next part of the question is, what is Portia's response to Aragon's statement? The first part of the question is, how does Prince of Aragon let Portia know that he is aware of the rules? Here is the answer. The Prince of Aragon informs Portia that he has taken the vows which binds him to the 3 conditions. He repeats the rules in front of Portia too. Thus, he tells Portia that he is aware of the rules. Now, the next part of the question. What are the rules and how did he get to know them? Now, the first part of the question. The rules are as follows. Firstly, no suitor is allowed to disclose of his final choice of caskets. Next, secondly, if the suitor fails to choose the right casket, then never in his life he will be able to court a maiden with the intention of marriage. Lastly, if the suitor chooses the wrong casket, then he must at once leave the place. Now, the next part of the question, how did he get to know them? Prince of Aragon got the information when he took his vows, and later Portia too let him know about the rules of choosing the caskets. Now, the last part of the question, what is Portia's response to Aragon's statement? Addressing herself a worthless person, Portia exclaimed in deep sorrow that everyone who arrives in Belmont to win her by choosing a casket has to swear in order to abide by the directives. Now, question number 5. What is Aragon's response to the inscription on the golden casket? Next part of the question, do you think he is something of a snob? Now, you have to follow this information. Here is the first part of the answer. In response to the inscription on the golden casket, Aragon says that here the word many refers to the common people who choose by the outward show, and like the stupid swallow bird, they are incapable of judging anything by its inner essence. Now, the next part of the question, do you think he is something of a snob? Answer. Yes, it is in his regard. In this regard, I think Aragon behaves like a snob. He is conceited at his high social status and shows an exaggerated respect for himself when he mocks at the common mass for their low financial status and pedigree. Now, question number 6. Think of Bassanio's long speech rejecting the golden casket. Is his strong disapproval of pretense and falsehood in society sincere and apt for the situation, or is it somewhat dramatic and overdone, as though for an audience? Now, we'll discuss the first part of the question. Here's the first part. Now, the first answer is, I think his strong disapproval of pretense and falsehood in society is sincere and apt for the situation. He concluded very aptly that the appearance can be tricky and deceptive, such as every immortal thing has the appearance of goodness. Consequently, he rejects the golden casket, which perfectly leads him to the happy climax. Now, the next part of the question, see how he then goes on to choose the lead casket with large-hearted expression like, thou meager gold, meager lead, thou meager lead, and thy plainness moves me more than eloquence. Now, the first part of the question, Bassanio exclaims that the cheap and dull lead warns one and does not promise anything. He finds it more appealing for its simplicity than the other caskets. Unlike the impressive language on the other caskets, there is a direct warning. This plainness of the language impresses Bassanio a lot, and so he chooses the lace casket finally. Now, question number 7. Which of these adjectives would you choose to describe Bassanio? Straightforward, clever, showy, or indiscreet? Indiscreet means not far-sighted. So, here is the answer. For Bassanio, I will choose the adjectives like straightforward and clever. Now, here is the explanation. He was a practical and realistic person, which is evident in his speech in the casket scene. Now, he is clever. Why? Bassanio's intelligence and wisdom has been provided in his choice of caskets. He has agreed that the outward show of things is deceptive. Now, the last question, do you think Portia was equally impartial with all three suitors, or did she in her mind favor one of them? What supports your view? Now, the first part of the answer is, I think Portia was not equally impartial with all three suitors. Her love for Bassanio is quite pronounced, but she has ample respect for her father's will and her promise to him too. Now, the next part of the question is, what supports your view? Answer. Among the three suitors, Portia requested only Bassanio to wait for a day or two before his final choice of caskets. She was afraid of losing his company too. Though she did not have shown any special feelings for the other suitors, hence we can say Portia earnestly wanted Bassanio to be her husband. Here you can also provide other reasons for Portia's special feelings to Bassanio, such as when Bassanio was going to choose the casket, Portia commanded for playing the music. So the music scene during Bassanio's choosing of casket played an important role for showing or proving Portia's love for Bassanio too. So in this way, you can conclude your answer here. Finally, students, if you like this question answer series to be going on for the further for the future, so don't forget to like, share, and subscribe our content. Okay, students, thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye to all of you.